Hi, it's Phil Lindsay here with Peep Magazine. We're here with Dave Binns at the Stadium of Light at the Summer Rumble 7 press conference. 7 Summer Rumbles.
It's mad, innit, how quickly time goes. Seems like 2 years since first one.
Yeah.
Excellent.
But we've got your headline in this one.
Well, Glenn is. Yeah.
Your team.
Yeah.
You've got 3 fighters on the show, but we'll start with Glenn because he's headlining the show.
Yeah.
Obviously, last time out, won the English title. Great success. Last 2 fights on the road. Obviously, had to win the Eliminator as well. 2 tough fights as well.
Yeah. Going away, I knew that all expectations were that he would get beat by the opposition, their expectations, but there were, in both instances, we've got a little bit of problem in training and preparation, but by the time fight time came round, I'd got absolutely no doubts that Glenn Foot were going to win. The worst bit for me were down in York Hall, Bethnal Green.
Yeah.
After the fight, Glenn had won the fight, he'd won the fight. My concerns there were, are the judges going to give him the decision? Because he'd won it anyway. We're over the moon that they had done. It sounds awful, that, doesn't it, to say, but...
you see what happened to Peter Cope recently?
Similarly in Wigan, he won clearly in Wigan. He won a lot clearer than the decision that went unanimously towards Glenn Foot, deservedly, but it was as low as 2 rounds. Yeah. Which, to me, were like... Anyway, it doesn't really matter because he won it and the judges did a good job, but when you're away from home, you've got it stacked against you. Glenn Foot turns up and does his job. Well,
the thing is, I think when you're away from home, it's a bit like, to a certain degree, what Tyson Fury did when he went to Germany with Klitschko is... You've got to win the rounds that you win clearly, so there can be no argument over those ones. And if there's close fights, the likelihood is you're not going to get those rounds. So you've got to make sure you win at least half of the rounds clearly.
Yeah,
and that's not always easy.
No,
to do.
It's not easy to do. Not at all. You know, you weigh your opponent up. You look for technique and tactics. But come the night, you've got, as you say, you've got to not just edge them. You've got to win convincingly to get a round.
To win each round,
result, yeah.
But, you know, all the heartache, all the nerves that you've gone through, didn't need to worry. Yeah. Got both results, and now he's fighting at home, defending his belt. Potentially, if he does come through this one, there's talk about a really, really big fight on the horizon as well, which I'll not discuss.
That's right, yeah, just leave it.
But obviously wouldn't be looking past this fight anyway, because I was talking to Jaffa on the way down here and speaking to him yesterday. Obviously Jaffa put the fight out for local lads. Yeah. Give them the chance to step up, didn't get any takers, and had to go further afield. And I think MTK got in touch with Jaffa and said, we'll take the fight. Yeah. Jaffa says, how much you want?
I was present actually when they rang him, when the lads' team had rung up, and they were keen for it, and so they should be.
Absolutely.
8 bouts unbeaten, and he's already getting an English title fight. He should be grateful that he's getting it. And I'm not for a minute saying that he doesn't deserve it. He's a good kid, he's a good boxer. But what I am saying is, yes, they would be grasping for a shot at an English title.
Absolutely.
And probably quite surprised that it were quite easily taken.
Yeah.
But Glenn Foot's ready, and we'll see in 2.5 weeks' time how things go.
Yeah. But preparation so far has gone really well for this one.
So close to his last bout, you see.
Yeah.
He's not had a chance to be out at
too many kebabs.
Too many kebabs. Chinese.
Yeah.
But he always trains well when he's in my gym.
Yeah.
It's when he's not there that you tend to worry a little bit as to what he's going to come back like. And he's not a lad who goes out drinking and abusing himself. But he's just very fond of food, like his coach.
Yeah.
But I don't need to worry about it anymore.
But the positive thing, he's got a belt round, not keep his pants up. Yeah. But he's got a belt round his waist now, and hopefully you can keep that consistency, build on this momentum. He's 29 now, which I suppose for Glenn, this is his peak years that he's coming into now. Yeah,
as well. Every boxer's got that limited time in front of him. And Glenn's has just flown over. It seems ridiculous. He's been pro, I think it's 5 years.
Yeah.
Must be 6 years. If it's Summer Rumble, bloody 7.
I was going to say 7. Could be
it's
6,
got to be
7
7
years now,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. And so his time, I'm not going to say he's running out. He's a fit lad. He's a strong kid, and he's been. This is just.
He's had a couple of tough fights, but he hasn't had a grueling career.
No, he's never had a grueling fight, really.
I think the Adam Little fight was the last couple of rounds were quite tough. Just in terms of getting over the line, it was
getting over the line.
He wasn't taking
his
punishment. His
preparation hadn't been fantastic. He performed really well, and I'd got absolutely no doubts. I didn't actually see those as being that hard rounds. When you see how some rounds are, Glenn never.
Oh no! You
know what I mean?
When you see the context of the fight, really.
Yeah. Well, that's what he trains for. That's what boxers train for. So if they can't do it when it's tough, they're in the wrong game.
Yeah, exactly.
And Glenn can. So that's not the type of fight we're looking for in this next one. He's an awkward kid. He's fast. He's mobile, elusive. But Glenn's been in the ring with people like that many times. And with good people, good reputation, and he's shown his mettle. He shows what he can do. But the big, tall kids who can box will tell you what a nightmare he is to be in the ring with when he's right.
Yeah.
And he's looking good at the moment, so I'm very optimistic. I'm not going to write it off. It's the other kid's got every bit of a chance.
Yeah.
Similarly, but
and he has come with a lot of ambition. I mean, he's
can have ambitious. Yeah, you can have all the ambition. Is he good enough? That's the only bit that concerns me. Is he good enough? That's the question. Ambition, you can have it till you get punched on the nose. Suddenly your ambition can drop.
The reason I mention the ambition is that if you look at Ross Jameson's last fight against Darren Surtees, that was a 100% Ross Jameson, as opposed to some of the fights he's had on the road. He probably hasn't put as much into his camp as he did against.
No, it was prepared.
For the Surtees fight.
It was lightest he's been. He were under the light welterweight. It were only a couple of pounds, but clearly under. Yeah. Darren came just under. Darren did all right, and Jameson put up a great fight. He was badly hurt.
Ooh.
Darren. Yeah, I was pleased as punch it didn't go after 2 rounds and referee stopped it because he was very, very near to doing it.
Yeah.
And I was pleased it went those other rounds.
Great experience.
Taught Darren some more in that fight than he'll learn, and I don't for a minute think that he wouldn't repeat that win. I really don't think that he were pushed to his limits. I would never dream of making an excuse up, and that Ross Jameson were class.
He was.
But Darren Richardson had trained his last 4 weeks in a knee brace.
Yeah.
He'd done no circuit training, done no running, and I gambled on that. I gambled on his ability to be able to box.
And so did Darren.
And he'd only trained in boxing sense.
Yeah.
Shadow, punch bag, pads, sparring. He hadn't done any other activities which I think are really crucial to your overall package. And I thought Darren would win. After 4 rounds I gave him a rocket, and it looked like he was starting to feel a bit sorry for himself.
Yeah.
So what do you think he's feeling like?
Exactly.
And anyway went out and did it. But he's learnt so much from that as well.
Well, for me, that gives Darren the experience of a 10, 12 round fight, because it's all about fighting fighting when you drain.
Last 2 rounds against Adam Little. I thought that Darren was sort of like dragged in there with Ross Jameson. And I thought he boxed well. I thought he boxed well. Ross Jameson,
energy well.
Ross Jameson were lifting, but he wasn't exactly taking.
No, he didn't dominate.
He weren't dominating.
He nicked a couple.
Might have nicked a couple.
Aye.
But I think there were more credit given to him for comeback
from the second round.
After the second round, rather than that Darren was boxing really poorly out.
No, he just had to box. It's similar to what Joshua did after he gassed out in the 6th against Klitschko.
Yeah.
He had to take a couple of rounds off just to get that full energy back.
Yeah.
And I mentioned that in commentary as well.
Yeah. But I were overall very pleased with him, and unfortunately with this
the Hardy fight.
Yeah, the Hardy fight falling through. It would have been a good bout. Yeah, 2 good lads. They've done loads of sparring together. It wasn't about that I were looking for. It wasn't about that I were chasing at all. When it came up, I think it would put to them as an opportunity to have an earning bout.
Yeah.
Rather than.
Yeah, exactly.
Not earning money,
exactly.
And it is pro boxing. It so both camps took it, and so.
Hopefully that one may get made later in the year. It's a September show.
The good lads, they can get in a boxing ring, box each other, get out at ring, and there's no reason whatsoever why they wouldn't be helping each other out in sparring again in future. They're good lads. If, for example, they were in amateurs, had been ABA championships and competing against each other, same as Glenn would have been. I mean, if it had been North East counties, they've all boxed each other. They all go into ABAs. There's no malice required. They can get on with it before and afterwards. Just best man wins in a boxing match. That's the way I've always looked at it. It's a sport.
Well, it's the ultimate mano sport, isn't it? One-on-one. It is.
It's tough enough, isn't it? That's you know. But this one of Glenn's is really crucial to a point that like mano one-on-one, Glenn's not got to go in there and try and just out-rough this kid, because if he does, he might get his ears boxed off. He's got to go in and use every skill that he's got.
Well, he has to. I mean, he's going to have to negate
this kid is not going to come in and have a little scrap with him.
No.
He's not going to come in and scrap with him. He's southpaw, he's orthodox.
He's going to have to draw leads, he's going to have to fade,
he's going to have to really... But when Glenn Foot gets a hold of him, then we see colour of them. That's what happened with that Bowles, and I think Bowles is a better boxer than Hakeem Ennis-Brown. I think I rated Bowles.
Well, Bowles was certainly ranked higher.
Yeah. He was a good kid.
Yeah.
But when you put a good kid in with Glenn Foot, it doesn't always look really good.
Yeah.
And that's Glenn's ability.
So Glenn's headlining. Darren's not fighting on the show now, with that fight not coming through, but like I say, hopefully that fight can happen later in the year. Hopefully the show September, maybe under the cameras in October. But you've got two other fighters on. You've got Chris Wallace, you've got Jay Hughes on there.
Yeah.
Do we have got opponents sorted for these guys yet?
I believe they've got opponents. There's obviously no two testing, and by that I'm not being disrespectful, but I mean, they're not into any challenging situations. They're still learning. I think they're both doing really well. We'll obviously have a look at whoever it is that they're boxing previous to the matches and work out what style or type of boxing will be.
I think Jay had a bit of a step up last time out against certainly a more aggressive opponent coming in. I thought it was second round. He was asked some questions in that second round, and then obviously he went back to the corner, and then from then on he responded as you probably wanted him to.
I was pleased with it. There's no worse than having kids boxing and not being challenged at any level. They need to be given
the right challenges at the right time.
I thought Chris Wallace's first bout were a bloody tall order. I knew he was a decent kid because I could tell when Guy rang me up about the match, he would try to play him down a bit, with it being Chris's first bout. I knew what a good kid Chris was. Chris boxed amateur as a junior, and he was a national champion twice over, but he's got some wallop in him, as Chris Wallace. He's knocked quite a lot out. That in where we're going with his pro style of boxing, but his boxing...
It's nice to have, though.
It's nice to have. And...
first two fights he's looked great, hasn't he?
Yeah, but that first bout was an awkward handful. But I knew the lad was going to be a decent kid, but I knew that Chris were up to...
Well, Chris sells a lot of tickets, so there's a lot of pressure on his back as well to put in a performance, which sometimes boxers try too hard to put on a show when they've
I think that was our problem in his first bout. Maybe in first round of his second bout as well. He'd badly hurt his right hand in second round of his second bout, and I thought, I've watched it back on your
wonderful platform
coverage. Yeah, fantastic. And Chris boxed brilliant. I thought I've also watched Jay's back over again. Jay boxed brilliant.
Yeah.
Answered good questions.
Looked
well doing it. And I'm optimistic for both those two. As I am with the rest of the lads, they've got a good little set of lads.
You've got a great set of lads.
And the team atmosphere amongst them is brilliant as well. So there'll be other people up there from gang. Warren Bass will be up there, no doubt, supporting. He boxed well last Friday.
Well, I was going to say let's touch on Warren's performance as well, because obviously he was on the Next Gen show last week, wasn't he?
Yeah, on Friday night.
Seen you on there with your short hair, looking all nice and neat.
10 years younger, as it said.
As advertised.
I think Cliff said. Yeah, lose 10 years of your haircut once a year. Once you get it cut once a year, people notice it. So, no, Warren Boxwell, I was very pleased with him. Very pleased. That the ultimate outcome, the kid were complaining about an elbow. Warren had cut him with a good punch.
Yeah.
And in the second, we'd said beforehand, I think I'd been fairly instrumental in the way that Warren boxed him first time.
Yeah.
I'd said to him, this lad's going to be really difficult to look good against. Let's just go out and try and hammer him.
Yeah.
Because he's awkward.
Yeah.
He's going to tie you up. He could make you look a bit of an idiot. I said, so we'll box him, which he had done. This time he'd made his mind up to start putting a little bit more power into his shots, which he had done. Unfortunately, in second round when he hit him, the kid had come down, and I think it was more his eye contact to Warren's arm.
Right.
Warren had hit him, but after the connection,
follow-through sort of thing, yeah.
He thought he'd caught him with his elbow, but the kid's head went to the elbow rather than the elbow coming up to the head. And but Warren held his hand up, as I would do as well. Unfortunately, the lad's cut worsened, and the bout had to be stopped. But I really don't think that we're going to do 6 rounds that night.
No.
I don't think he would have done 6 rounds at Renton Meadows, but on Friday it was a different performance from Warren. And as I say, I don't mean blame for it, but I'd actually said to Warren, the harder you try with this kid, the worse you may look, because he's a very, very awkward kid.
Well, it's apples and oranges, but it's very much similar to almost any sport like golf, where if you try to whack the ball, you're not going to hit it accurately. You're not going to hit the timing's not going to be there. You're not going to get a clean connection with
these guys that turn up regular, these Eastern European lads. The harder you try with them, they're used to it. They tie you up, maul you, and that big guy could punch as well.
Yeah.
That Daviditis, he'd only had
a disease.
5 wins, but out of those 5 wins, he'd knocked 4 of them out.
Yeah.
And there were 1 or 2 punches during bout. First time I thought, there was some bite in that punch.
Shots.
Yeah, well, the big lads out there, 6'8".
Well, the virtual heavyweight.
Yeah, virtually. But last week I was pleased with his punch with him, so everything's.
And all you can do is when you're doing things like that, if you're fighting against the same guys, is look for improvement.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you might fight against somebody else next time. I'll have a different style and look $1 million against. But it's if you fight the same guy and then they fight them again, if you're getting improved performance, improved results,
I thought
as a trainer,
very much improved. And as I say,
and that'll give Warren more confidence.
Warren's more confidence. We spoke about it before the fight. We both knew what tactics he was going to be trying to use, which he did do. And he was pleased with it. I was pleased with it. Similarly, as I have been with lads recently, they've all been boxing quite well. So fingers crossed it keeps going.
Well, everything's going in the right direction. But on that positive bombshell, Dave Benz.
Thanks very much, Phil.
If I don't see you beforehand, I'll see you on the 16th.
Champion.
And I need
I'll be there before.
I need to have a word with you off camera about something as well. But I'll.
Champion.
It's a secret. But Peep Magazine, July 16th, Stadium of Light, Summer Rumble, number 7. But get a ticket, get there, and get the tickets off the boxers as well. Support the boxers.
The tickets.
That's what it's all about. Right, cheers. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Ticketmaster. Get it. Thank you very much. Cheers, Phil. Thanks.